Welcome to EO Talks, Eastern Oregon's very own talk show, only here on EO Alive.
Eastern, thank you for joining us today on this EO Talks, and this is kind of a special episode, and I'm in a different place. I'm in the studio today, which is where we have our AM show, but it's good to have with me Commissioner Matt Scarfo and Sheriff Cody Bowen. Glad you guys are here. Are you doing all right today?
Good.
Yeah.
Hanging in there. How are you doing, Brent?
I'm good. You were silent there for a minute, Matt, which was, might be good for today, right?
Yeah. I don't have great news for today, but
Well, yeah. So let me kind of give us a little bit of context here. So we're here to talk about this endless topic that we are all exhausted above, COVID. We've had a recent uptick of COVID cases, significantly so, and like what's going on in the whole rest of the country. And so we're here to talk about that again today, and what it comes down to for us, and to give you folks a little bit, to catch you up a little conversation here. And Matt, you can explain a little bit more about this. All of the time over the past year and a half, the mandates that have come down from the state level, whether the restaurants should be closed or open or whatever, whether businesses should require masks, all of that business was mandated by the state. And part of the position of the county was, hey, we're educated people, let us make some of those decisions ourselves. And so then in this recent uptick, the governor did just exactly that, didn't pass mandates from the state level. And you can talk about how that might be changing, but and kind of giving some local control. And so then you guys recently, the commissioners, Union County, your experts, you started talking about, okay, so it's our responsibility now to figure this out ourselves. What are we going to do? We need to be responsible, and so on and so forth. And so, anyhow, so that's kind of where it has been. And so you guys met, you guys had a commissioner meeting yesterday. So why don't you take it away? Kind of catch us up, Matt, with if I missed something or where we're at.
no, you hit it on the spot right there. We got local control now, and I don't think we're going to have it for too much longer, if you ask me. I'll tell you right now, the governor has asked all county chairs into a meeting at 10 a.m. on this Friday, which I don't think she's going to be saying, hey, good job, keep it up, in my opinion. So, like I've mentioned the city council last night, she's going to probably get back in the game on this. We did put something in place for the county that pretty much says we're going to have start up communication daily and monitor the hospital. That's going to be weighted the most, and look at case counts, and then just kind of go from there. I've been struggling here since last night. I had some horrible news, and I did get the okay to announce this, but OHA this afternoon will announce 4 new COVID deaths for Union County. So it's been a rough 12 hours here, and yeah, our cases are up. We've been talking to the hospital. We're not in good shape.
So those are recent deaths?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. And that's pretty sobering, because the deaths that we've had in the past have been kind of strung out over a period of time, one here or there. And
Yep.
so then four announced in one day is pretty significant.
It's shocking. I received a text message right before the city council meeting, and I get maybe pretty flustered for my report. I I had, everything I was going to say, and I lost it up on the phone with Kerry Brigiotti quite a bit, and Nick Vore, our emergency manager. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't like hearing that at all. And I just really want to start informing and educating some more on this. I know we've been, hammering this in on everybody, but right now, if you have symptoms, stay home. Please, that is the number one best thing you can do. Stay home if you have symptoms.
It seems so simple.
You would think, but it's like, hey, I just, I got a cough, or I just have this. Just if you have a cough and you're like, hey, no, I'm okay, maybe you should get tested. But just be vigilant. Let's. So I forgot this part where we're going to flattening the curve and hospitalizations. So right now, as you know, our cases have spiked. We're in the 20s for a couple of days there. Now we went back in the 10s. We've been, right around the 10s, the 15s. Talking with public health, would love to see us around 5 a day. Let's stay right around there. Let's keep that a nice, steady metric, if you would. But no more. We can't no up and downs. It's a virus. It's going to take its course. As you're hearing that the vaccine is not protecting you from getting COVID. We all knew that, but some people, I guess, did not. You could still get COVID with the vaccine, and that's a fact. Fact check that.
Well, clearly they know that now.
Yeah.
But
they announced at the very beginning, it's 95% effective to help you with getting COVID. It never said 95% effective from you not getting COVID.
Yeah,
and that's the information that they really needed to get out to the public, but.
Well, and we all know the rhetoric, we know the conversation, we're having that with our friends and our family and amongst ourselves around the proverbial water fountain, and I think that there was so much pressure for the vaccination that it was going to be a be all fix all. And, clearly it's not. And so then you have people that are unvaccinated be like, well, what's the point? It's not preserving us anyhow, So, and we all know that conversation. And it's sad because you guys are kind of in a difficult spot. Both of you are, I know you personally, you sincerely are East Oregonians. This is your roots. This is your home. You're here, and so now you're kind of in the place of being, for today, you're in the place of having to be the governor's mandates for us locally here. And, and that, I don't know, I'm sure that at times that seems awkward for you guys. So I guess what do we do? I sympathize for both sides. The fact is, the truth is, they really don't know. They don't know how to prevent this. We have these ideas. You can wear a mask, you can wash your hands, you can stay home when you're sick, you can be vaccinated. And so, the truth is this thing, hey, we're not really sure. And unfortunately, they don't really say this. We're not really sure that all of this is going to work, but this is the best we can do, and you should do it. And, and I think that's been the message all the way along is, hey, just be prudent, do what you can do. I don't know. What do we do? That's all of that I'm asking. Cody, I don't know. We haven't heard from you. Tell me, what do you think about this mess?
First off, I don't have a dog in the fight. Law enforcement is, we're not the mask police. We're not the ones enforcing the governor's mandate. That's not our role in this at all. Our role, I would say, would be more to be on the safe side of things, do our best to take care of one another, set a good example. But I'll be the first one to tell you that, they haven't given us the choice to take this on our own. And maybe as a whole, as a public, we don't always make the best choices and do what's right off the bat. We're very independent. We're very strong. We're free. And we do what's best for us. And we fortunately have the the ability to make that choice, which in recent times was taken away from us from our business shutdowns, our requirement to wear a mask, our requirement to tell me who I can have at my house and who I can't have at my house. I'm the first one to stand up and say, no, that's wrong. What we need to do is do our best to educate everyone. Like Commissioner Scarfo said, just get the word out there, let folks know where we're at, and bottom line, be responsible. If you have underlying conditions, if this virus, if this bug is going to do severe damage to you, then take care of yourself. Wear the mask, get the vaccine. Don't go to those highly populated events. There's lots of options. We still have the curbside pickup for groceries, for crying out loud. I mean, if you're in that high risk category, take care of yourself, and the rest of us do the best to take care of the healthy ones as well, by washing the hands, by limiting the close contacts. But like I said, I mean, law enforcement doesn't have, our role in this is just to be supportive and do the best we can on our end to set a good example.
Yep. How about you, Matt? What can you add to that? What do we need to do? Or what do you?
Sheriff, that was fantastic. That was well said. that was fantastic. Yeah, boy, we groomed you well. The one point that he did mention on is the local control part, because we're having spikes and we're having a lot of the deaths and stuff in Union County. Why would we close Baker County? I still think we should still have local control. I don't want what's happening in Multnomah County or in Lake County affecting us. Yes, we're having a tough time right now with it, but is this a reason why Wallowa County should be shutting down as well? I don't think so. Yes, we've been through some tough times through this in the past, and we've gotten through it. And I honestly believe we're going to be able to do this again. So.
And before we go on, just the show today is brought to you by Oregon Trail Trader. Normally they are the sponsor for Keeping It Clear with Cody Bowen. Is a show that Kyle and Cody does. And if you have not seen those are awesome shows. And it's a little bit like Cody Unplugged, which is awesome. But stop by Oregon Trail Trader. They're a great business. They're just down the street from Les Schwab, I think right next door. So, man, people are just so exhausted. I mean, they are so tired. And I've been saying for a long time that, people will only run from a monster for so long. And eventually they turn around and it's like, okay, I'm going to either beat it or it's going to eat me, one of the two, but I'm not going to spend my life running. And that's a little bit where we are, it's kind of funny because frankly, I don't fear dying like I maybe did 2 years ago, because, it's just, it's more real to me, the idea. But again, it's like if you live your life in fear of something, eventually it takes away so much of the quality of life. Now that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be responsible to help others and that you shouldn't do what you can to not put others at risk and so on and so forth. But that's a little bit of the mentality of where everyone is at, is they're just exhausted and they're tired of running from the monster.
I agree 100%, Brett. We as a nation, we've born and raised on freedom and our ability to choose and make choices for what's best for myself, for my family, based off the information and the education that I have. I don't need somebody telling me that I need to have a mask on. If I want to wear a mask, I will wear a mask. I don't need somebody telling me, how about I offer you $10,000 if you get the shot? You're bribing me? Okay, this is grade school stuff with peer pressure me into doing something that I morally and ethically believe is wrong, but yet you're pushing it on me because that's your view and your point of view. If you want, go get it. I have lots of friends, lots of family, coworkers that have gotten the shot because that makes them feel better about, me, myself, I take vitamins. I've been the healthiest I've ever been in years simply by keeping up on the vitamin C and the vitamin D and a few other things my wife throws in there. I don't know. I don't ask questions. She just says, honey, take this. Okay. Just to keep me up and functioning, and I'm trying to eat better. I'm trying to be healthy. And if I am in a big crowd, I don't get face to face. I'm not letting people spit on me when they're talking anymore. Not that I ever let that happen, but those close conversations, they don't happen like they used to. It's a responsibility of ourselves to take care of ourselves and make the choices that are best for us. When we're forced to a situation where our government is making those choices for us, then you're absolutely right. We will take it. We'll take it. But I'm telling you, there's a silent majority of folks out there in Union County alone, which I stand with, that are to the point of no more. This is encroaching on our freedoms. This is not who we are as Americans. And bottom line, we won't take it anymore. We won't. It's frustrating. And I'm not trying to start a revolt by any means, but what you're saying is 100% accurate, is that I'm a grown man. I can figure out what's best for myself. You do what's good for you. I'm going to do what's good for me. And we'll get past this. It's another virus. It's another, we as human beings have evolved for a reason, and it's not from getting a shot in our arm. And it's definitely not from wearing masks. Yeah.
But on the same hand, if you were going, I was at a luncheon the other day, and, and ironically, it was the first back to real life lunch that we've had in a long time, but everybody was respectfully cautious. There was nothing that I saw that was, those people that wanted to wear masks were wearing masks. Those people that felt comfortable were not. Some people were bumping elbows. Some people weren't shaking hands at all. Other people were, and again, just to remind people, shaking hands is not the bad thing. Not washing your hands after shaking hands is the bad thing, and so it's just, there has to be some intelligence that's filtered into some of this stuff. Matt, you referred to, and this all might be for naught, but kind of tell us what you were thinking at the county level. You made reference a little bit to it last night about if we do have local control, maybe a stoplight system, hey, green and yellow and red. Mm-hmm. And maybe can you define that a little bit, kind of what you guys have been thinking?
Yeah, the green, we all know, is we're doing okay. Yellow is going to be, we need to start, we have a problem, which I can almost see us getting the yellow here if things don't get better. Red, we're running for the hills. So we're like I said, we're going to be listening to the hospitals, the experts, emergency manager, public health. We're all going to be taught. We talk pretty much all day long with the county. The wording that we're using is going to be a lot of recommended, not mandated. I do not want to give the sheriff or the chief of police any unenforceable mandates, if you would. I like what Sheriff Bowen just mentioned. Yeah, it's going to be on you. I know if we do get to that point to where we start recommending indoor masks and the like, we're going to get back to mask shaming, mask police, horrible social media. Once again, that's the stuff I really would not care to go back to. I think that was a very, very bad spot for Union County to do that. What I do, I don't know if you can see it. I got my mask in my pocket. I see a lot more people on the streets wearing their masks, which is fantastic. That's your right. Please do. And I keep this right here. If someone approaches me, and I make it visible, so if they want me to wear a mask, while talking to them, because you know me, I'll talk to anybody, and I'll meet with you 6 feet away, 3 feet away. I'll put my mask on wherever you want. I could be 20 feet away. So I just have that option with me at all times. And I hope everybody kind of does the same thing. I know a lot of people, they probably burnt their masks. A lot of people, I saw a lot of that. But, go grab yourself a disposable one, put it in your purse, put it in your pocket. be respectful for everybody else, because there are some people that, you know, maybe they do have underlying medical conditions, and that's this, there's no this is no rumor, no nothing. If you have underlying medical conditions, that's like the #1 COVID killer. So I would say if you do have some, please get with your healthcare providers, call CHD, get some more information. Maybe you want to get vaccinated. I got CHD's numbers, 541-962-8800. And I'll put a little plug in. Every Friday they have drop-in clinics from 10 to 2 p.m. for the vaccine. But underlying health conditions is the #1. If you have that, COVID, and you get COVID, that is not a good mix.
And there's a lot of us. I mean, all you got to do is look at somebody's body shape and you know whether they have underlying health conditions or not. So, but you know, I mean, it's the reality is that there's some people that are more afraid of the vaccination than they are the disease. And I mean, that is just, people wonder, like, why aren't they getting vaccinated? And it's like, it's not that complicated. They're more afraid of the vaccination than they are the disease. And I mean, that could be, yeah, go ahead, Cody.
You're absolutely correct, Brent. I mean, my wife and I were having a conversation this morning, you know, before I came to work. She's like, I don't know what to believe anymore. You know, you hear, you know, St. Alphonsus lost 40% of their nursing staff simply because they were going to mandate them to take the shot. They all walked out. So those are healthcare providers. 40% of them say no way. 60% of them say, you know, okay, yeah, I'll do it because I got to keep my job. But, you know, that's the mixed signal they were in. Wear your mask. Don't wear your mask. Oh, the mask works. It doesn't work. The shot, you know, once we reach 70%, nobody has to wear masks anymore. Well,
Right.
Come on. I mean, it's back and forth, back and forth. I don't think, my own personal opinion is I don't think anybody really knows what the hell they're talking about. It's turned into something that everybody's just trying to keep their head above water. The counties are trying to do what they, you know, God bless our commissioners, because these guys have been so busy with just trying to navigate this circus that has been handed to them and try and keep the control here in our county, which, you know, control is such a I don't know, a blatant word, if you will, but it's something that we should instill in ourselves. We should be in control of ourselves and in control of our own livelihoods, if you will. And man, I don't want somebody coming in here and saying, you need to do this, you need to do this. So whatever I can do to encourage folks to get a hold on it ourselves and do what we can to slow this down, then let's do it. But it's going to take an individual effort. It's not going to take somebody above us telling us what to do, for sure.
Well, and unfortunately, you know how it is, the more you're forced to do something, the less likely you are to have done it, you know, I mean, and so then, yeah, so then that becomes an issue too. So, but again, you know, regardless of where you stand, the thing that you can do, back to what you said, Matt, was if you're sick, stay home. If, you know, if you are, and that's complicated.
Symptoms.
Yeah, if you have symptoms, stay home. Yeah, because
you can have a cough and be like, "Hey, I'm not sick."
Well, and I mean, you know, I've had a summer cold for about a week. It's a summer cold, you know, and I have no doubt that's what it is, you know, and so it's complicated. But still, even still, I'm trying to be courteous and keep my distance from folks and so on and so forth. So.
Like the symptoms, like losing taste or smell.
Right.
Do you really feel bad?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's it. Yes.
You can enjoy that pizza or whatever, but
yeah, that's kind of a for sure thing, you know.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I was joking. It was funny. I was joking with Tanya the other day. It's like I said, yeah, I'll sure be happy when food tastes good again, you know. And she looks over at me like, I'm just kidding, you know. So, but yeah, I mean if you have the sniffles, that's one thing. But if you have the sniffles and your neck aches and you have a headache and you lose your taste, I mean, all of those things compounded and I'm sure someone will correct me, but those are the things that we've heard over and over and over again. So regardless of where you are on this whole thing, do what you can.
Yep. I'll quote somebody, I'm not going to say who it was, they were at our meeting on Wednesday. Keep yourself safe. End quote. So it wasn't a longer quote. I was like, I wrote it down. I said, we've been kind of saying that, take care of yourself, and then always take care of others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you're safe.
So,
hey, I'll jump when Cody mentioned the St. Alphonse and all that. Yeah, staffing is a serious issue, and even in the medical field, which it shouldn't be. And when we can't fly people out because they're short-staffed in Boise or something like that, that worries me more than COVID. Because if we don't have, if we get to the point to where, like someone has a heart attack and we can't take you in, we have a problem.
That just happened a week ago to my mom. She was feeling sick, weak, yucky, went to the hospital. Come to find out, she had needed a stent put in, and they couldn't fly her anywhere. All the hospitals did not have enough room, not enough staffing. My son ended up having to drive her down there to admit her into St. Alphonse's so she could get a stent put in to save her life.
See,
it's little stuff like that, routine stuff like that, where you can't get a helicopter ride to someplace else. That's what's going to hurt us. That's what the underlying issue is.
Yeah, it's scary. Like, we could have one COVID patient in the ICU, but we can't take any more patients. That's at that point, I don't even think it's a COVID issue. We have a hospital. We have problems if we don't have emergency rooms.
Yeah, and it comes down to, I mean, the incentive for people to stay home is ridiculous. We're not just talking about nurses and doctors. We're talking about support staff. We're talking about the folks that are cleaning the buildings, keeping the rooms, opening the doors, the maintenance, the people that are working for the mid-wage income right now. They can sit on their ass at home and they're getting a government check. And why would they go back to work? They don't have to pass a drug test sitting at home. They're getting a check coming in. They're living high on the hog. It's a true crisis that our government is providing for and creating an absolute monster that we have people that have no work ethic and don't want to work anymore. Because why would you? You sit home and make $30 an hour.
Yeah. And people are experiencing that, I mean, that's happening. And they're finally saying, okay, yeah, that is a problem. We've all known that was a problem for the last 2 or 3 months. I want to refocus this just a little bit. And, there was a big outcry. There was a bunch of people that went to the LeGrand School Board meeting last night and because, the governor is mandating that when schools do come back in session, that they're going to, they're going to have masks. All the kids are going to wear masks and so on and so forth. And I think that I understand both sides of these issues. I mean, I know these parents, but I also know our administration. I know our principals. I know, and so do you, Cody. I mean, you worked with those folks every day. I have never seen some kind of a political agenda that has been pushed by our local school district. But you have this, everything is so polarized now that even masks, and the school district is a little bit in the same shape as what you guys or the county is. And that is that when it comes right down to it, you do have to obey the mandates that come down from the governor, whatever that might be. You don't think so, Cody? Talk about that.
No, I think that's the problem. I think that the people have been too willing to say, okay, fine. It's going to come to the point to where people are going to have to say, no, I'm not doing it anymore. And we saw it last night in the school, but we sat through that 2.5, 3 hours last night through that. I mean, and you have, I've mentioned to some folks that people won't voice their opinion. They won't stand up until it's right there in their living room at home. It's right there affecting them. They can say, yeah, that's a bad situation. Sorry, that's happening to you. But when it's affecting them, when I say it's affecting me and it's in my living room, then I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to say, this is unacceptable. The school, I work side by side with all the administrators, all the staff, the students, and they're in a terrible spot. They have the Oregon Department of Education that's barking down their throat, that's telling them what to do, or they're facing them with a $500 fine for each violation, and then they're facing them with revoking their teaching license. You have people that have years and years of college that have dumped their whole life into do this profession that they love, and then they have somebody up here saying, okay, if you don't follow this thing, which nobody believes in, the science doesn't say it's correct, masks don't work, but if you don't follow this rule, we're going to penalize you and you won't be able to do what you love. They've got people, I say they, and I'm not trying to be conspiracy theorists here, but they've got people right where they want them to do what they have to do, or they hit them where it hurts. And that's frustrating to me. So what's going to happen is our school district, which is probably fine for the next year or two as far as funding wise, but all of these parents that were there last night, including myself, when I remove my child from that school and they don't get that $1,200 per kid per year, it's going to hurt. And then the government's going to look back and they're going to say, okay, well, we'll relax on the mask law. But that's what it's going to have to take, is people just flat putting their foot down and saying, no, this is not acceptable. My child will not wear a mask. I deserve free public education, and provide it, or I'll go homeschool. I'll go to a private school. I'll do something. But I can tell you, until those people stand up and say enough is enough, they're going to keep pushing it on us.
So what do you think the school should do? What should the school district do? I mean, you spoke well about what you think parents should do when they object.
I can't speak for what they should do.
Right.
So from man to man, Superintendent Mendoza mentioned that there's 2,000 kids enrolled in the Grand School District. There's over 300 staff. So we have 2,300 people right there that say no and put their foot down and say this is not acceptable. That sends a message. That sends a message that's saying, no, we're not masking our children. Our children need to see our faces. We need to see them. We need to see them when they smile. We need to see them when they frown. They need to be able to develop those social skills of seeing something other than someone's eyes. You listen to me talk like this. Who am I? You don't know who I am. You see a smile on my face. You see me reacting to what's going on. I'm learning. I'm engaged. I can breathe. If we as a whole, if we as a people, which, one of the parents mentioned something last night about it's unfortunately, until it comes to something like that, when people realize that the government works for us. And when I refer to the government, I'm not talking about our local level here, because they're breaking their backs to try and make this thing as best as possible and survivable. But when the other side of the state is dictating what we do, when Washington, D.C. is dictating what we do instead of doing what's best for us, then there will be an issue. I personally, take this for what it is. I mean, I believe we should all do what we can to take care of each other, but I'm tired of it. I say those parents stand up. I say the school stands up, and they say no. And they say, you want to penalize us, penalize. You want to take our funding away, take our funding away. You know what? If we go back to, we lose our electives, we lose some of our staff, then we do what we have to do to provide. But I mean, I'm tired of it, Brent. I'm truly tired of it. And I want folks to stand up for what's right. And that's myself, that's our leaders, that's our staff, our students. Stand up for what's right. And I believe that the mask thing, as you can tell, I'm a little passionate, probably speaking too much about it, but I don't believe we should be masking our children, because in the end, this is truly what we're hurting as our kids. This is going to hurt our kids far less than this little flu bug ever will. Yeah.
Well, and for those of you that are joining us, thank you. And this is a good reason why you should check out the show that Kyle normally does once a month called Keeping It Clear with Cody. And Oregon Trail Trader is the sponsor of that show, and we appreciate them sponsoring this one this morning. So,
hey Brent, if you want, I could chime in also.
Yes, please.
On that, since it was over a year ago when the teachers walked out of the classrooms in Salem, and since that day, I was sickened, absolutely disgusted that they brought our kids into this. No science and data at all. I'm very disappointed in the teachers union, the way they handled this. I hate to bring that, I hate the fact that politics got in the middle of this pandemic. Politics has no place in the middle of a pandemic. The science and healthcare, all of that, they should have just said, no, thank you. We don't need you at our table. We're going to do this the best that we know how. And when I heard that teachers unions are telling how the CDC what to say, no wonder no one trusts each other, because like I did not know it was a qualification to be a medical doctor to be on the teachers union board. So I fought all last year to get our kids back in school. I voiced up in every single meeting. I did get backlash on it. Don't care. I will fight for our kids till the bitter end. They need to be in the classroom. Well, glass half full. Guess what? They get to go in the classroom. But with the mask thing, I don't show me the science and data that shows that. I know that I heard that almost 80% of our teachers in the Grand School District are vaccinated. I wear this mask for everybody else. I don't wear this mask for me. I want to know holy smokes, I lost it. When my son wears his mask, who's he wearing the mask for? I did it. There it goes. Sorry, I stumbled a little bit on that one. Yeah. Did you get the gist of that?
Yeah.
Like, okay, him wearing a mask in school, does he wear it correctly? No. Is it dirty? I mean, I've seen him drop it on the ground, step on it, put it back on his face. That's not, I mean, I'm like, where's your mask? He pulls it out and it looked like it went through a mud puddle. That I don't think that's healthy. And I want to know, in the classroom setting, is he protecting the teacher? Is he protecting the other students? Who is he protecting by wearing this mask? Science and data on children it's been out since day one. They stop announcing it. That's when they start burying information. I do not like when they bury information, hide information from us. CDC's come out with a lot of stuff. I can't find it anymore. And no wonder no one trusts anybody. I really think the vaccination rate would be 90% if politics would have stayed out of this. And it's not our fault here in Union County. It's not us. It's happened on another level. But we're all fighting over it. I don't think we should be fighting anymore. It's happened. This is where we're at, and we need to go forward.
So,
all right,
Matt,
no.
So Matt, what should we do? Because you're in the position of like, I mean, if whatever the governor, when she gets you guys around the table, whatever that might be, and she says, okay, hey, I said I was going to give you local control, but I changed my mind. And so now, then there's a new matrix that says, yeah, if you have these numbers, then you got to shut down your business. What do you do? What choice do you have but to pass those mandates on to us?
I wouldn't pass those mandates on to that's her passing it right over the top of my head.
Right
on to everybody else, right on to me, right on to the sheriff, right on everybody. But when Sheriff Bowen, we've talked many times, do you like unenforceable mandates?
Nope.
How do you enforce an unenforceable mandate? You don't. So you're just going to cause more division, more anger. It's not, you can't do an unenforceable mandate.
Yeah. Well, and unfortunately, I mean, all of those businesses are in a place. I mean, so let's say that, and I wouldn't be surprised a bit if they say, hey, restaurants are going to go back to 50%. I mean, that's probably what or something. There's going to be some hook, I mean, I was talking, one of the things with healthcare workers, I think that she was talking about is that if you work in a healthcare setting and you decide to not be vaccinated, then you have to submit yourself to weekly COVID tests, which frankly, that's not a bad workaround. I don't have an issue with that, but I think the hook will probably be, oh yeah, and you have to pay for the COVID tests. I mean, there's going to be some hook there. So I guess I'm trying to, the people that are listening, I mean, both of you guys are in a position of authority. You've been elected to what you're doing. We believe in you. What do we want to tell those people?
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll tell you, let me talk and then you can fix everything.
Sorry, I'm just still kind of calming down from my little tiger. I apologize for that. It's been a stressful couple of days here.
I'll go first. You guys can smooth over all my rough edges. Here's the deal. If the governor comes in and says that we need to shut down our restaurants and we need to do all that, I say no. I say, you as a restaurant owner, like I said, I don't have a dog in the fight, and I'm not encouraging this, but the fact of a mandate of what they think is best for them over there will cripple our county, will cripple our community. We will lose more of our down home folks, and I don't want to see that. I know that OHA, OHSU, Oregon Health Authority, any of those guys that OSHA has come in and threatened their big fines and whatnot when the mask mandate was lifted, when governor said it was okay, they dropped all that stuff. There's businesses that stayed open all year last year. There's businesses that closed, that lost employees, which in turn lost family members, which it was an absolute mess. What I say you stand up and you say enough is enough, and I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do what I can to protect myself, protect my community members. If somebody wants me to wear a mask around them, I'll wear a mask around them, but I'm going to be as healthy as I can. I'm going to live my life the way it was intended to live by the freedoms brought forth in our country. This has come to a point to where you say no. You say, I'm not doing this. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm going to keep on keeping on with my pursuit of happiness. So I'll frequent your establishment. I'll be there. I say if the school says mask, you withdraw your kid. I will. I'll do the online thing. I'll do whatever I can. But I'm not going to have my child walk around with a mask on her face for her senior year of high school, especially for our younger kids, our first year of school. I say no. And I will be the last guy that judges you for wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, or enforces any type of mandate that comes down from Kate Brown's office. That's about all I got to say about that. So
I'll jump in now, Sheriff. Yeah, but from that standpoint, yes, I'm in a different position. I'm speaking with the hospital, I'm speaking with public health, speaking with emergency managers and things of the sort. I have to report when we have deaths. I have to report when we have high cases. So from my standpoint, I will be encouraging masks if need be. I will be encouraging certain things. Will I be enforcing? Well, I say me, but I will be voting on it as a commission. But nothing will be mandatory. But trust me, if I'm saying I'm encouraging everyone to wear a mask or encouraging everybody to maybe calm everything down, we have a problem in the hospital. We have a problem here in Union County. So it's not going to. I'm not going to be well liked. I know that. But when Sheriff Bowen's mom can't get a stent put in here locally or something, that's a problem, and we have to address it. But for everything that Sheriff Bowen had said, yeah, I have to bring up the bearer of bad news. That's kind of my job.
So, and again, that news is that later today they're going to announce that there's been 4 recent deaths of COVID.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a real live risk. It's a real live thing, and it's leading to death right here in our area.
Yes. Underlying health conditions, obesity, all that stuff. If you fall into that category, please talk to your healthcare providers. Call CHD. Do the best you can. Stay away from people. Don't go to heavily populated areas. We know this. It's just, I'm sorry, broken record. We've been doing this for a year and a half now. But yeah. I educate, inform. That's the best we can do.
Good. Well, guys, thank you. And again, this is brought to you by OregonTrailTrader.com, and they're out by Les Schwab out on the edge of town. Good guys. Carl Baum is a great guy, and that's just a good organization, good company. So, men, thanks so much. And any last words before we take off? No.
Stay home if you have symptoms.
Yeah. Again, do what you can do. Nobody's asking you to. None of us here is asking you to give up your rights. None of us here is asking you to do something that you don't believe in. But at the same time, this certainly isn't a time to be careless.
No.
Yeah. So, all righty. Well, hey, thanks, guys. Really appreciate you coming on today. And thank you, Eastern Oregon. Hey, and one last thing. So we're streaming the East-West Shrine game this Saturday. Fun event for us. It's exclusively on EO Live TV. The stream starts at 6 o'clock on Saturday in Baker City. Be sure and tune in. So thanks a lot, men. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Brett.